Hello, Crafty Crandall fam. Welcome back to another video. In today's video, I am doing an About the Artist. I got this idea from Jude at Jude and Her Pencil. I will link her down below. I highly recommend her channel. She's fantastic. And so I actually followed the similar methodology of looking on the internet for random About Me questions. I Googled icebreaker questions, and so I found some fun ones, some serious ones, and I'm just going to roll through answering those while in the background you're seeing me paint a self-portrait. I am painting on the Etcher sketchbook. I am using my Mia gouache, and later on you'll see I also add to that some colored pencils. So without any further ado, let's hop into the questions. The first question that I took from the internet was, what is your absolute dream job? Now, for those of you who are unaware, I am an engineer. I'm a product engineer. I graduated with a degree in chemical engineering. So my dream job is to be a technical manager. What that means is essentially being the manager of all of the technical engineers, either process, product quality, development, etc., in whatever company I am working for. So that would be my dream job. Right now, I am just one of those lowly engineers. So I'm, making steps. I'm constantly trying to improve, and I think that that would just be a phenomenal role to one day attain. The next question is kind of along a similar vein, being work related, and it is, say that you are independently wealthy and no longer need to work. What would you be doing with your time? This is a great question. I think that, to be honest, I would be doing a mix of things. I would be doing a lot more artwork, for sure. I would probably try to expand my art business into a business, because right now it is not. I make $0 from my art right now, which is fine. I don't need to. That's why I have an engineering job. But I think that I would do more artwork, and I think that I would either do like personal training or would at the very least be extremely active every day, because activity is so important to me. I think that I would just really prioritize my health and my creativity. The next question is, what does your favorite shirt look like? This is my favorite shirt. It is from the 2016 Blue October home tour, and it was the first Blue October show that I got to see, which was so special for me. And honestly, I just think it's like a really good looking shirt. I like the baseball tee kind of configuration. It's loose and it can be worn like in every season. So it's my absolute favorite. I will never get rid of it. If one day it gets like a rip or a tear or a stain or something that I can't wear it anymore, I will like make a pillow out of it or something. Next question is, what band would play at your funeral? Which is a terrible thing to think about, but funeral, wedding, random party, any day of the week, my answer to this question would obviously be Blue October. They would play it and they would be just phenomenal. So Blue October is definitely my answer to any of those types of questions. They are my favorite band. They have been since I was 10 years old, and they probably always will be. If you could live anywhere in the world for 1 year, where would you live? I'm not sure exactly where in Switzerland, but I would love to live in Switzerland for a year. I've been to Geneva, I've been to Zurich. I think that I would want to live in Geneva. Maybe Lausanne. Ooh, Lausanne. Lausanne, Switzerland is probably my answer for this. I think that that would just be a phenomenal place to live. They've got so many lakes, they've got so many mountains. There is so much to do there in the outdoors. I could go snowboarding, I could go hiking. Oh, it would be amazing. Question is, what is the best piece of advice that you have been given? This was a really hard one for me, and it was really only very recently that I received this advice, and I think that it has truly, like, foundationally helped me. If you don't know, which you probably don't, because I don't really put this out on the internet, but I struggle with anxiety, and I was talking to my uncle recently, and he gave me a phenomenal piece of advice for dealing with anxiety. I am just going to put a disclaimer. I am not a medical scientist. I am not a medical person by any means. Please, if you are struggling, go talk to a professional. Do not take my advice. But with that said, the advice that I received was to try to break the loop. So as soon as your mind starts going that 1,000,000 miles a minute and you are really struggling to like hold on to your emotions or hold on to control over your anxiety, break the loop. Break the loop any way that you can. Thinking about something else. Have a go-to phrase that just stops that train of thought in its tracks. And for the most part, this has worked wonders for me. It has been such a useful tool, and I could not be more grateful for it. The next question on the lighter note is, what is the favorite item that you have bought this year? By far, my favorite item that I have bought this year is my MacBook Air. I bought myself a new computer. I saved up diligently for it over the course of like a year and a half. I finally pulled the plug and bought it, and I freaking love it. It is amazing. I upgraded the RAM. I upgraded the storage. It is just a fantastic computer and so much quicker at editing than my old computer. Oh my gosh, I can't even explain to you. Hours have been saved because of this computer, and hours, in a way, are dollars. So well worth the investment. And if you are struggling with a piece of hardware that just is not capable of doing what you need, I highly recommend looking into an improvement. The next question is, if you were a wrestler, what song would be your intro theme? My song would probably be Colors Collide by Blue October. I think that it just sets you in the mood for like a wrestling type stage. It is a very like hard, harsh, dark song, but it is such a good song. I will leave it linked down below for you so that you can go and listen to it, because I can't play it because of copyright laws. Next question is, what book that you read recently would you recommend? And a better question would be, what book that I've read recently would I not recommend? Because I've read some great books lately. Let me tell you about them.
So, I'm super disappointed with it. I love everything except the face. Oh my goodness. I don't know. I'm not very good at mixing gouache, clearly. I don't know how to get like just a clean blend. Blend is the word. So it just looks super patchy. Like it looks worse on camera than it does in person. Like in person, if I stand back far enough, it looks okay, but like it just doesn't look good. So alas, super disappointed. I might try to put a wash of watercolor over it. That's the thing I love about watercolor, is that you can wait until it dries and then you can put a clean wash of color over the top of everything, and it's transparent enough that all it does is it smooths everything out and makes it less patchy. But with gouache, you can't do that, because you see how all of these little brush strokes in here are visible? It makes it worse. Like here's where I tried to repair some of the patchiness. It makes it worse. It makes it blotchy and awful, and I'm so frustrated. So there you have it. That's where I'm at with this. I don't know if I'll be able to fix it or not, but oh well, them's the breaks sometimes.
Just finished The Atlas 6 by Olivier Blake. That book was phenomenal. You're following 6 magicians or mediums in their pursuit of joining this Alexandrian society, in which they're going to become the caretakers for all of these books and resources that the general public just doesn't have access to, because they are all being held by this society. You follow all 6 perspectives, and it is just really fun.
This portrait is not going to get past the ugly phase using paint. So I have pulled out my trusty dusty colored pencils in an attempt to make it look better. Let's see what happens, because to be honest, I am even less skilled with colored pencils than I am with paint.
The other book that I read recently that I absolutely loved was Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir. I have already talked about this book a couple of times on this channel. I actually have a video, if you're interested, I'll link it up above, when I drew one of the characters from this book. It is phenomenal. If you like science fiction at all, I highly recommend it. This question is, when you die, what do you want to be remembered for? And another really tough one. These like introspective questions are just really hard to answer. But I would like to be remembered for always giving my 100% effort. I want to be remembered as the person who put all of their energy into everything that they did and tried their best to be successful, even when they failed. The last question is, if you had to sing karaoke, what song would you sing? Now, you might be expecting a Blue October song for this, but actually, I would sing Sparks Fly by Taylor Swift. I'm a huge Swiftie. I love her almost as much as Blue October, but not quite as much. And I just think that that song would be like my go-to song to sing for this question.
Well, let me know down below in the comments if you think it helped. I would really love to know, and I appreciate your feedback.
So with that, you guys, let me know your answers to some of these questions down below. I will leave the questions for you down in the description so that you can play along. I thought this was super fun. Additionally, I want to do a Q&A for 500 subscribers when I one day eventually get there. So please leave some questions for me down below in the comments. I won't necessarily answer them in the comments, but I'll take them and answer them in a future video for the Q&A. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know if you liked this video and if you have any suggestions for future videos for me. Anyway, I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye!